So I mentioned earlier that I went down to Blizzard and I met with all of their dev teams, and I stole a thing I wasn't supposed to have. And it's too late for Blizzard to fire me. I always thought that there's this weird thing that happens when we are the heroes in these games that we play, right? And we walk into these different areas, and there's all these creatures who live there, and we look at them, and all we see is monsters, and we just kill them, just because they're there. And we never stop to ask ourselves, like, what's their story? Like, what are they doing there? What do they care about? It turns out that Blizzard has a little bit of lore for some of them. Well, let's see, you stepped into my area of effect, which unfortunately creates a critical failure on all your dex rolls. And I'm sorry for that. Anyone else who is doing anything dangerous should probably not come within 5 squares of me, because I'm super bad news. Anyhow, this is from a journal that was kept by a lovely little boggart. And it tells a little bit of his story from his point of view. This is, says that this is written on the inside cover of a leather-bound journal. There is the crude drawing of what is clearly a boggart, and beneath it the words, "Booger's Book, keep you hands of it, OLs. I am Boogers. I woke up again today and I couldn't remember where I was or who I was. But then I remembered, I am Boogers. I have been trying to learn a way to remember all the yesterdays, but I always forget that too. So I started to stack rocks, and it helped me to remember, because I would wake up and be confused, and then I would remember I was Boogers. But that was all. Then I would see the rocks, and I would remember I put the rocks there. And I remember lots of other things too. Now my cave is filled with rocks, and I cannot find any more rocks outside. I saw a tall pink man outside though, and when I ran up to say hello, he screamed at me, and he dropped a bag. Then he ran into the red swamp fog and melted. He must not have counting stones to help him remember things. I saw that the something was a bag, so I dragged it over to Overlord Gruel. Gruel also likes bags, and also he likes to throw me sometimes. Inside the bag there was a book, some swamp water that was blue, some treasure goblin rocks, and a hat. Gruel let me keep the book and the hat, which he said detracted from my smell and appearance. I like how pointy it is. Also, Gruel taught me how to read and write. Then he said, don't go pissing and moaning to the admins when the next patch comes out and you spawn half-clipped to a fallen lunatic. The next page is just a partial entry. I was throwing frogs at a horned charger today. I was having lots of fun until it hit me into the West Trapper Tower. That old thing fell down on top of me. I almost got away, but Almash saw the wood wraith branch that I think was a ladder rung poked into my back. I tried to swim away, but Almash said he saw the stick running on the water. He also said that I have to rebuild it and help stinky old Water pass out the earplugs for the Terror Bat's birthing cycle later this month. The next page. Gruel says we all fall asleep together and wake up in new places, except Gruel always wakes up in the winding cave. I asked him why I wake up without remembering going to sleep, but he only laughed at me and said, trash mobs. There's a little frowny face drawn on the paper next to that. Now, the rest of this page is just hearts and flowers and rainbows, and it says, Boogers loves Wicker Man, and what looks like signatures. This one says Boogers Man, Boogers T Wicker Man, B Wicker Man, Boogers Man's Earth Band. It goes on like this for a page. There's a drawing here of Boogers, and, well, I can't tell you what that looks like because there's kids in the room. And then it says this is page 3 of 49, so we'll just skip ahead a little bit. I saw a barbarian today, but before I could say, hi, I'm Boogers, she started hitting me. It really hurt. But then a treasure goblin came into the cave. The barbarian shouted, Gob, on me, and ran away. Then the barbarian lady hit it a lot and it smushed into treasures. But then she said, compass rose again? I'm so glad I spent my lunch break doing this instead of dailies. Then a blue light ate her. Waking up under a rock is no fun. I haven't done that before. It was really heavy and hard to breathe, and someone left their pointy spear in here. When I tried to move, Urgrek sat on the rock. I thought maybe he didn't know I was under there because Urgrek is very nice to me. But then he started to talk to me and told me I had to stay still and wait for someone to lift the rock up. That's when I jump out at them. I asked if I could hold the spear, but Urgrek said the spear is only for closers. Really? Nobody appreciates a Glengarry Glen Ross reference? My son said no one's going to appreciate a Glengarry Glen Ross reference. Leave it out. And I was like, come on, Glengarry Glen Ross. Oh, boy. All right, last entry. It was a special day today. I got picked to be in something called a bounty. There are lots of us, and Bossman Ashmal was even there too. He's still mad at me for breaking his tower. Gosmal came in and told each one of us what we were going to do and gave us numbers. I got number 71. Number 71 is going to hide in a pile of leaves and bones and then jump out right after number 70 falls out of a tree, but before number 72 explodes by the crumbly stairs. I asked Gosmal if I could say surprise when it was my turn, and he said it was okay. Nobody else seemed very excited, maybe because they don't like their numbers. I just know tomorrow's going to be the best day ever. I'm excited to be important. The final entry just says, being in a bounty wasn't as good as I thought it would be. That is from the Journal of Boogers, the Boggett. Thank you. That was very amusing to me to write. I hope it was amusing to you. The original art contest winners are going to be displayed now on these amazing screens for you to enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, please feast your eyes on... Now, listen, here's the thing. I don't speak more than one language, and I don't speak it very well. So I'm going to mangle this person's name, and I apologize, and I hope I do not create an international incident when I introduce third place, Goblin Raid by Shumu Yang. Third place Goblin Raid will take home a $700 prize. Nice. Second place is for Let's Go by Tetero. Little dogs are so cute, they couldn't possibly bring murder death to everyone that crosses their path. And first place is Cairn Bloodhoof by Birdman, taking home a $1,500 prize. I'm supposed to stay mostly neutral on account of I'm the host, but I freaking love that because it's like if Frank Frazetta were alive today, I feel like that's what he would have drawn, and he kind of created what fantasy art looked like for me when I was a kid. So congratulations for that. That was absolutely amazing. Incidentally, if you ever get a chance to go to Blizzard, say yes, because there is art like that everywhere, and it's gorgeous. It is now time for our third talent contest finalist. I would like you all to welcome Hope Diamond to the stage. Hope Diamond is performing Crusader. Oh, Hope Diamond. I told you I'm the worst wizard ever. I can't even summon a band. Hope Diamond, everybody!
I'm not talking Argent Crusade.
Hope Diamond, everybody. Please come. I have such massive Rickenbacker guitar envy right now. That's amazing. What's your name?
My name's Kristen Galecki.
And everybody, this is Kristen. Kristen, with that amazing rock voice and this incredible rock style, I imagine it would surprise the folks gathered here to know that you work in a craft store.
Yes, I do. I work at Michael's, where creativity happens.
This is not a paid endorsement from Michael's, I'm supposed to read on this. You guys are all from Detroit, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Now, are you, are you in red because you're Red Wings fans?
No, for the Crusade.
All right, well, I was just trying to relate to you.
Hi, General.
How long have you been playing together?
Oh, gosh, 15 years?
And why did you choose Crusader?
Well, I wanted to sing a song that was, like, real to me, and I thought about it, and the Alliance is all right, the Horde's terrible. What I really wanted to sing about was the much maligned Scarlet Crusade.
Oh, right on. Well, welcome to Southern California, and congratulations. Thank you so much for performing tonight, and have a great rest of your Blizzcon. Yeah, right on. Thank you. Oh, look, I'm throwing things on the ground.